Well, hello there, everybody. Welcome. Hello there, Lady Liane. How are you doing?
I'm sorry, I'm disconnected like the rest of the world. I was texting. Text.
Aha. How was your weekend?
It was good. I cooked my turkey. I cooked my own goose. No, I didn't. I cooked my turkey on Saturday, and that was nice. I had 12-pound turkey, and I made a sweet potato. And then I had extra. I actually did something a little weird. I made this onion tart. No, it's not an onion tart. What kind of an epicurious girl are you? Hmm. It was a shallot tart. And I saw the thing on Insta. You know how they have on Insta all these kids that are just hi, that are they make these things and then they eat them and go, "Ooh, it was so good." Some of them look really like this shallot tart looked so good, right?
Wow, right.
Okay, so you caramelize these shallots and you put it all around, all pretty, and then when it's good and going, you put a little balsamic vinaigrette or vinegar on it. I used fig vinegar from a company that I like, and Vervana. It's called Vervan as in Nancy, Vervana. Anyway, and I put some goat cheese, and then I didn't have fresh thyme, so I put a little dried thyme on there, and a little bit of honey drizzle. And then you take a puff pastry and you put it on top and stab it a bunch of times with a fork. Fork.
Wow.
Bird always has to pipe in. It's like it's going to be my thing, I guess, to have Diva in here. She always wanders in here to try to upstage me. It's so rude. Anyway, so you stab it a bunch gently. Gently stab you with my fork. Cha cha cha. Hello, Nigel. Um, and then you stick it in the oven at 400 for like 15, 20, 25. It took too long, minutes. And then it came out and it tasted really good. And now, like, I'm not sure whether somebody as aesthetically pleasing as I am right now should say the things that I want to come out of my mouth. Like, if you live with anybody, do not eat one of these because you will fart and it
Oh,
will
wow.
smell so as good as the tart tastes, that's as bad as the fart smells. I'm telling you, it's good. It's good that I live with 4 parrots who don't seem to complain about these things. Anyways, move on from that. Yeah, yeah. So what's been in the news? She stuttered. So isn't tomorrow December 3rd, right? I lost a day.
Yes, it is.
I thought it was December 1st today. I don't know. I don't think it's the Halloween. See, there you go. I don't think Halloween got me or Thanksgiving. Um, it's not even that. The only time I know what day it is Monday now because this is the only scheduled event I have. Otherwise, who cares what time it is or what day it is? It doesn't matter. I don't go by the same calendar as everybody. I go by like moment to moment. It's just
Right.
yeah. Anyway, so where was I going? Yeah, the shallot tart, the thing, and then Mondays, I don't know what day it is. I don't know what I was talking about. Anyway, so yeah, the weekend was good. The turkey was fine. The news, that's what I was talking about. December 3rd, I lost a day. I don't know where I went. Maybe I watched a little too much Darius Wright. Maybe I had an OBE and don't remember. I don't know. Lost time. But tomorrow's December 3rd, and there's some wacky thing going around that 39 days after the electorination of Donald Trump, there's supposed to be some craziness. Has anybody
Yeah.
else heard that?
No, I don't think I've been watching and hearing is about Joe Biden and his damn son.
Oh, the pardoning? That's the big distraction so that everybody
Yeah.
in the sky.
I will not pardon my son. I will not do that.
It's just a distraction. I don't really care whether anybody at the pardoning, the not pardoning. It's like, it's just to get everybody riled up and taking sides. So I don't like that's just as much as when the government starts yapping about they don't know what's up in the sky. Well, maybe some of them they don't know, but I will say that the rest of them they dang well know, and so does our Pope. It's like my bird is the BS meter, and she's going row, row, row in the corner. Diva, why don't you come here? Come here. Come on. Come here. Waddle over this way. Yeah. Come here. Come on. Well, while she's figuring that out. So there's supposed to be some crazy invasion, some alien invasion tomorrow. Don't listen to Cliff High, because get high. Don't listen to Cliff High. It's our instructions for the world right now. Like I'm not listening to Cliff High. I just think it's kind of funny that it's okay. Y2K, December 3rd. I don't know. I do think that it is blowing up, and I do think that there's pressure cooker times happening. Like I do think that the Pope knows everything. I do think that the physical world is a projection of the collective mass, like that's whoever thinks X the most, like the most people having the same thought, that's the reality we're going to have, because it's like that, because it's electromagnetic signals into a field, and what we're observing collapses. And if it's collapsing, then what world are we living in? And then here comes my ADHD rambling. Here we go. Here she goes. Just wind her up, ladies and gentlemen. Right? If that's the case, then all of these stories that we've been told about literally everything are just a bunch of blah, 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 ideas and concepts that we've been given. Why? Because somebody knows that there's a lot of weight that's carried by mass agreement on a concept, because that's the tantamount to billions of people collapsing the atom into the same reality. So if reality is something that happens as a result of what's being collapsed and what's being observed, then the world is not what we were told. And like we can't evolve unless our idea changes. Right. And somebody's got that information, and that information frees humanity. And this is not conspiracy. This is just linear observation from somebody who's been watching. And I want to say who hasn't talked an awful, well, I guess I haven't, this is like 8 weeks into I get to talk about what I see. So I don't know. I haven't saturated the market like a lot of these people, but I've listened, and it's not what we think. We need to evolve. Humanity needs a serious rehabilitation and a restructuring of how we identify as individuals and as a collective when it comes to what we think we are. We're not the meat suit. We're the awareness in the meat suit. It changes the definition of death. It changes science and physics as we've been taught the nonsense, or half the nonsense, as it were, So Nassim Harriman's not crazy. Like, dude.
David Lipton's in the house.
Oh, David Lipton's going to be in the house extra next week. He threatened to come talk to me next week. So we're going to have to send him a StreamYard link and hope his Wi-Fi works over there on the other side, on that left coast. I guess it depends where you're looking. If you're looking from Canada, it's the right coast. Right?
Yeah, if you're looking down, it's right. If you're looking up, it's left.
Well, I mean, if you're looking down, it's neither. It's down there.
True.
Hmm. Right. Yeah. So, and then here I was also watching Michael Tellinger. Like David and I exchange YouTube videos, you know, and my comedic outrage, because you got to lace the laughter in there. Otherwise, it's just not fun. There's David. Hi. Say hi to everybody.
He
David.
says,
I mean,
I'm on the left.
on the left. I left. Elvis has left the building. Oh, and the bird's being insubordinate. She's just over there banging her beak against the. What are you doing? She's now staring at the alien masks. Like they've been there this whole time. They didn't just show up. Sorry. Yeah, it is funny. It's funny. It's funny. So I kind of whipped myself up and pooped myself out, and then David showed up and Dario. Ciao. Yeah, well wait, so you picked up another station, didn't you? Or
Yeah,
another
so we're looking at 24/7. So they want us to stream on their network. So yeah, we're looking at it.
That's nice.
Yeah. So
You
we're
know,
trying to work out the details on that.
I don't know how I would. Thank you, a little twisted. Thank you. I had it tied up in a ratty little braid for 2 days so that it would just go poof, and then it did, and then a week will go by, and wee there. It's protein. It comes out of my head. It's fabulous.
We need to get you a big fan.
Big fan. That's a Ritter fan, and then I can.
Right.
Have you ever been in front of a Ritter fan? We used one on Critters too.
Yeah, my beard looks funny.
Oh, yeah, the collective YouTube user. Uh-oh. So yeah, the collective. You know, if every individual person, I'll say it again, has 60 to 70,000 thoughts a day, and each thought is an electromagnetic transmission of information that goes into a field of all the information, which is a conscious field, then something comes back. Experience comes back. And I feel like if the human collective were to really grasp the concept, because again, it's notions and concepts which we have, to which we adhere, which then colors everything. Because if atoms are empty and they collapse when you're observing, and they collapse into what you think you're observing, like, what does that mean this world is or isn't? Right? You guys think about that. Like, and everybody's like, oh, psychic this and psychic that. That's another point that I made today on my Facebook. Like, what is wrong with everybody's inability to accept psychic as normal? Because if you accept Wi-Fi as normal, you can ask my family. For a decade, I've been saying, the internet is funny. It's kind of like consciousness, except it's like a fake version of consciousness where you can like go online and imagine what you want, and then you push a button and then it manifests through Amazon. How is that any different from doing it the organic way? Like, how is that not AI trying to carbon copy consciousness? This doesn't. So if the collective were to figure out that consciousness is the deal and thoughts are what are causing the mass reality, and that every single person thinking and feeling afraid, like your emotions, all this fear and anger and confusion, and Russell Brand and the globalists and the globalist agenda, and and everybody's screaming all this information, and like, oh my, shut up.
Uh-huh.
You need to go in the shh, 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 deflector shields up, right? Because whether we know it or not, it imprints. It's information coming at us. Your subconscious is hearing all of it, whether you're consciously tuning it out or not, right? So the collective, I think really with my whole heart, if the collective knew how it worked, it would curb its enthusiasm for war, angry feelings, feeling superior, to feel puffy and better, like at the cost of what? Reducing somebody to dust. Like, this is, that's the model I was shown a lot. That's the Rubinstein brains. Ashkenazis were the smartest. It's like, oh my God, so what? If you're a fear-based schleprock who's trying to control everything, white knuckling, who cares if you've got Ashkenazi brains? What are you doing except letting them rot in your fear vibe? Like, oh my God. So yeah, here's to breaking the DNA behavior. That's what I'm doing. Oh my gosh. Hi. Whoa. There's a face I haven't seen in a minute because I've been reclusing it.
Huh?
She's been reclusing it just a little bit, but that's, I'm still kind of in a cocoon when it comes to social butterflying. I've been very observing and taking the information and the knowledge and flipping it into 3-minute musical increments. It's working on another song. It's kind of trippy and cool this week. So yeah, so like, people, find your bliss, find what makes you happy. You can know all the crap is there without entangling. There's a way to look at it neutrally and not, necessarily have an opinion. Try to have a no opinion. That's better than jumping in and giving it attention and fueling it more, not liking something and liking something. I think not liking something fuels that thing more than liking it. It's the intensity with which the feeling is emitted, along with all of the blah, 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 blah that goes on, And how does that feel? So yeah, no, I'm not better than anybody, but I like feeling free in here, and I like feeling happy in here, and I like it better when this informs this than when this is like informing everything, and it's just all nonsense. So yeah, so I would say cliff high, maybe should get high. No, maybe not. Maybe that's not the answer. But plant medicine is definitely a thing, and it's useful in some situations. After all, pharma is the fake version. It's like, I'll go back to, again, it's I see this guy, Dr. Livingood, is like, and how come it's a sick system? It's not a healthcare system. It's a sick. He's right, and I've been telling my husband, it's like, it's funny how, Lipitor does the same thing that grapefruit does, but when you're on Lipitor, you're not supposed to eat grapefruit because it contraindicates. Like, why don't you just eat the grapefruit and the other healthy foods and feed your body something besides chemicals? There's a time and place for drugs, but rarely in my working experience of it. But that goes back to Mr. David Lipton and his big brother, right? What's the environment here? And then what's the environment here? That's gonna, there. Your physical body is going to get affected way faster by toxic thinking and feeling and blaming and scrutinizing and one-upping and, you know, major overhaul, major behavior change. You know, like if these non-human intelligence have been around billions and billions of years, do you honestly think that these guys don't have it down pat about everything I'm talking about? Like, if they wanted to wipe us out, they'd have done it. Maybe we should let whatever's going on happen, and maybe we should each individually invite something. Because maybe if we get into a peaceful place emotionally and mentally, it causes an environment that's peaceful in your bubble, which makes it attractive to something that may be riding a different frequency to allow itself to come down, and maybe you're raising your and we meet in the middle. And then what's going to happen? Speciesism? No. Like, invite them in for coffee, have a talk, learn something. There's a reason they've been active for billions of years. Clearly, they didn't blow themselves up, So Kirsten Gillibrand and her little bill to bang, bang, shoot them up if they start, maybe they're there to disable your shit so that we don't destroy the galaxy. Because has it ever occurred to anybody, not you guys, but and I'm sure it has, this is a rhetorical question, that when you go shooting nukes off here on this planet, it does weird stuff up in the galaxy, in the atmosphere. Maybe it's ripping holes and tearing in space. We don't understand what's going on up there. So why are we shooting off cuckoo? ¿Por qué? La cuckoo es tan bueno.
That's right.
So I don't know. I'm a friend of mine, Vanilla Dick. He's like, why don't you just be out for yourself? It's like, you're not here to save humanity. It's like, you know what? No, I'm not here to save anything. I'm here to expand and try to be coherent and try to understand what's going on. And the more people who are trying to understand and start grasping for what's going on instead of all the nonsense we get fed, maybe we have a chance at the species evolving into something coherent who's accepted by, do you guys have the James Webb Telescope? Do you see these photos? Like, how is there not another coherent humanoid something out there experiencing some kind of other third dimensional collapsing? There has to be.
It's mathematically.
Thank you, Aaron. That's nice. Look, I have such an issue going here. Look at me, like me, follow me. I'm good at the hear me and see me, because I've gotten to the comfort zone with that clearly 8 times. 8 times, and that's only because Mr. Man over there is pushed me off. Like, I gotta. He's like, okay, hi. I'm Liane. Hi, ride in the frequency. And so here we are, 8 weeks later. And now David next week. I'm excited.
That's right.
I can practice on you and try not to interrupt. God, help. Whoa. Yeah. Oh, it just turned 5:55. Interesting. So yeah, so YouTube user, did I satisfy your back on track and finish talking about what did I do that right for you in my Adi Ash Day? There's I keep hearing about from these cryon videos, and I hear a lot of stuff. I do. I'm not just a Ross Coulthart head. I'm not. Thank you. You're awesome too. I really should catch up with you, like, on a personal level and find out how you two are doing. and your kids and your animals and your, oh my goodness. Anyway, so more derailing myself. I love it. I love it. Yeah, indigo children, like highly empathic, highly all over the place. When I hear these things being discussed out loud, it makes me feel better that my always having been a little bit of a weirdo, that's the good news. Like, it keeps getting reaffirmed that it's because I've always seen. That's why I'm weird, because I don't subscribe and I don't like subscribing. I never did subscribe to my channel because I'm awesome, because Aaron said, look, I did it once. Subscribe and like, yo. All right, no, but yeah, so I think there are some of us that have always been plugged in. I think they say, oh, the kids being born right now. It's like, no, I don't think all of them. I don't think all of them. I think all human beings have the potential to, we are Wi-Fi. We are a psychic species. It's a flaccid muscle. It is a great topic. I don't know enough about it other than when I hear it described, I check all the boxes, but I don't know. I can't tell you who my star family is. I have no idea. Like, I have my suspicions that when I draw blue females with ponytails who clearly look very bald and they have, third eye webs, and then I see James Gilliland talk with, yes, I do. I watch Exopolitics. But I heard him talk and he's explaining these different beings that he's seen. Like, it's not dissimilar to what I'm drawing. Like, and my drawings don't have to look exactly like anything because there are probably billions of species. Billions, Carl Sagan. Billions and billions of species. I'm gonna Pink Floyd, several species of little furry animals grooving together in a cave, gathered around her with a pict. That is like the weirdest song, and I used to listen to it. Anyway, I should go find it again on Spotify when we're done here, just for and giggles. Yeah. So yeah. So I don't know. I talked, speaking of Pope and disclosure and the lid's gonna blow and Nassim Haramein and the unified field, and it's a lot, but it's invigorating. That's the intel for me. When I start hearing about this stuff, things that feel right and get me excited about being alive and being this energy and being this source and pulling through the field into the computer and making my songs and living my fun, whatever I do, because it's fun. And, that's the deal, man. Moment to moment. Planning things in a calendar. Rigid. No, it's not rigid. I can give you a timestamp of 5:30 Mondays and y'all can come hang out with me. But, linear time's all made up and it's just a matter of a coordination point. Here's another thing Nassim Haramein said. Information and time, like, information doesn't, I'm going to get it wrong. Like, I need to watch. It's his interview that he did with Aubrey Marcus where he talks specifically about this. And I think I timestamped it. Ooh, I just got a crazy ringing in my ear. See, that kind of thing. Like, I don't have tinnitus. So I don't know. I highly suggest that you guys, if you have the time and the interest, go watch that interview. Nassim Haramein and Aubrey Marcus. Like, it gets pretty trippy. But yeah, so that's when I know it's good intel, because it makes me want to follow my excitement about it, you know. And flipping the lid on lies, is that kind of exciting? Yeah. Is it kind of in a train wreck kind of way? Yeah, temporarily, but you know, that might be that dark night of the soul the collective has to go through, right? Is the pain and trauma of finding out the rug just got pulled out information wise. We're going to have to regroup, and we're going to have to pull together to regroup, and not because an alien invasion unites us all. That's not what we're doing, Ronnie Reagan. Sorry. Not in my version of the world.
I got it queued up if you're ready.
Well, oh, you do?
Yeah.
Okay. So here it is. Ross Coulthart. I don't know. That's what you're talking about, right? 54 minutes. Are we going to take a chance to see maybe we get a strike?
Yeah.
This is strike worthy. You know what? Give me a freaking strike. Strike it.
What period? When was this attack? There was a terror attack in 1994. There was an attack on an Argentinian-Israeli Mutual Association building in Buenos Aires that killed 85 people and injured hundreds of people. And in 2006, Argentinian prosecutors accused Iran of directing the bombing carried out by Hezbollah. And it has come out, including in some of the more prominent newspapers in Argentina, that a former senior official with Argentina's intelligence service, Juan Bautista Joffre, also a former ambassador, told an Argentine TV show that when they were investigating an Iranian-sponsored terror attack on Argentinian soil, they listened to a wiretap between Yusuf Khalil and Abdul Karim Paz. This was reported in the La Nación newspaper, which is one of the top newspapers in Argentina. And Yusuf told Karim that he had met the head of the Vatican intelligence services in Argentina, a guy called Hector Luis Yeremia, and they'd agreed to introduce him to the head of Vatican intelligence. The Vatican intelligence chief in Argentina told Yusuf he was a Freemason, and so was Pope Francis. So you've listened to that recording and you've verified that that's what was said. Is that correct?
Yes, exactly. It is a phone recording of 8 minutes, because when Joffrey said that on television, okay, I know that he's very serious doing investigations about all these things, but I was thinking I need to listen to the recording, and I got access to the recording and I listened the whole recording. And he said that Pope Francis is a Freemason.
Okay. So when I post this on Facebook and I say, Pope Francis, you know, am I making parrot? I have parrots, so maybe I act like a fucking parrot. Ding. A snap. Uh-oh, Masons. You know, it's not even uh-oh, Masons. It's how ludicrous is it that the Catholic Church back in the 1700s in Portugal, and the Jesuits and the Freemasons got into it because one was affecting government, and then it was, you know, if you're a Freemason, you can't be part of the Catholic Church. Okay, that never changed. The Pope's a freaking Freemason. I put it on Facebook, and people start arguing with me. I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna go, and I listened to it several times. Now you heard what I heard, right? I'm not hallucinating. He said it, right? Yes. I wish I could talk to Gabriel. Like, it looks like he makes music. Like, here, look, we have similar backgrounds.
And look, okay.
So, you know, it just,
one of them had,
you have to look at it.
Vatican intelligence representative in Argentina. And he said to them, to this Iranian person, that he said that he was a Freemason. And
so I just want to, before you go any further, I think we should explain this to our audience, because it's in danger of getting complicated. And I think it's a really interesting point. So in what period? When was this attack? There was a terror attack.
Right. So that's Grizzly went and rewound because that preceded the terror attack that we saw earlier. So it was a little bit of the segment clipped off. So that sort of informs like why he was talking to Iranians in the first place, you know, because that gets a little weird. But life gets a little weird. And I think that the reality is stranger than any fiction that's been written about it, quite honestly. Seriously. Like, it's so weird that humanity may not be able to, again, the concept is too. But, you know, I think those of us who are courageous enough, I hope I'm one of those guys, because when faced with the reality of the reality, I think I understand how it functions or understand how it functions. And then I go back and listen to Napoleon Hill and the Master Key. He's saying the same thing. So is Neville Goddard. So is The Secret. Like, they're all saying the same thing. But what Nassim Haramein says, it's nice to say these airy-fairy things, you know, and give people knowledge and words, but the science behind it, to explain the science behind it so that people can accept it better, you know, and then to have our fading away generations of scientists whose egos are all bruised and they're all panicking because, you know, oh, if I was wrong, then it means that. So what? Then it means that humanity's evolving. You try to keep us stuck so that you don't feel stupid? Like, what? Stop it. Yes, he was about how to attract money, but it's all the same basic idea. It's the same thing. Yeah. There's a reason. Ralph Waldo Emerson, all of these, what they called new thinkers, you know, Mary Baker Eddy, all these people back in the day. They all have different versions of all of this stuff, you know. And then David sent me this was it a Michael Tellinger? It was a Michael Tellinger, yeah. And it was Nikola Tesla, and it was all about how sound affects matter. You know, so why aren't we breaking up cancer cells with sound? Oh, well, some people are, like, and hopefully it's not tweepy, terminate with extreme prejudice, because that's what we do here. We tweet and we tweep. Tweepy. Like, what? Go to some other planet. Or just go away. Leave us alone. Let us evolve. Let us free ourselves. You know, why don't you go be a slave race for some other creepy super Draco? Like, go away. Oh, I'm reading reality transurfing right now. That's a lot. But when I'm done, I'll check it out. Thank you for the rec. Appreciate it. I do. You know, I'm like the old woman version of Aaron Doughty. I'm here to help people expand their experience. Like, isn't that what he used to say? That kid, YouTuber? He was right. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh, are you here? Well, hello. You have a bird? Oh, there you go. You're not stepping in my fabulous hair, because that'll just be very, very bad on the back end. Right? Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. Uh-oh. What are you doing? Go on. Go on. Wow. Yeah? Hello. This is why I don't go to the dentist. She cleans my teeth for me.
Uh-huh.
No, she doesn't. It's not what we're doing. It's not what we're doing. There she is, Miss Bird America. Woo. Ah. Oh, they're talking about you. I think this is really why they tune in every week to see what the parrot's doing this week. Yep, 510 sirens. That's right. The siren who lives amongst the sirens. It's great. I'm a siren among sirens. What's up, Denise? Woo. I've got 2 of my African grays. After they moved here, it took about 8 weeks, and now they both do sirens. It's awful. They didn't do that back in LA, but it wasn't consistent like it is here. Mom decided she had to rent an apartment on Broadway. Not like West End Avenue or Riverside Drive, which are slightly more quieter. Yeah. She's my old lady. Right? Aren't you? Yeah. We got you in 1988. Yes. You're just a conversation stopper, I tell you. Aren't you? You beautiful, beautiful bird, you. Bird. Actually, I have to admit that everything that comes out my mouth is coming from the parrot. Did I say that? Maybe that's not funny. Channeling. I'm her marionette. Right? Is that it? No? Okay. Well, so here we go. Cliff High tomorrow is going to come and go. And then, I don't know. I'm more inclined to listen to James Gilliland and Nassim and Bruce Lipton and Greg Braden, who tries to explain about our DNA. But even he's saying the same thing. Yeah, we're all on a frequency. It is. It's all about frequency. Could you imagine what it would look like if the whole collective tuned in on the same frequency for even 10 seconds? That's the kind of energy that creates worlds. No joke. Concentrated, focused energy. Yeah, I said Cliff High. I was making jokes.
Uh-huh.
Cliff High. I don't know what he's high on. Clearly, we're not smoking the same weed. So, from one psionic consciousness unit to all you other ones, there's really no reason why everybody can't get a CE5 app and make sure you're not in an angry mood, because then I can't imagine you'll attract anything fun. But when you're in a good mood and you're not concerned about life's aches and pains, and if you can raise your vibration enough and get into a mood and do a meditation and go through the CE5 protocols and take the time to reach out in a group somewhere in a field or outside in a backyard, someplace where there's not too much light pollution, you'll be really surprised maybe at what shows up. It's not fake. That's fun. And then the bird going doo 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 in the other room. She just did that. Yeah. Whoa, right on cue. What's your deal? She doesn't do that. The other two, they do SpongeBob and they do that. And a crow and the sirens. Welcome to New York. Wow. So do you think we're going to get a strike for showing that?
I don't know.
If
I'll
we
see
don't,
get notified.
If we don't, can we do another one?
Yeah.
Enjoy Cliff High. No. Yeah, because I wanna put one of the Aubrey Marcus and the Nassim Haramein where I timestamped that one too because of what he was saying. He says it better than I do because he's a scientist guy. I'm an expanding consciousness unit who's working on it. I'm working on remembering what I am. Because it's in our DNA. It is. If it's in my DNA and in my mitochondria, then I already know. I just have to remember. Like, and how do you remember? You've got to, there's definitely unlimited space in the mind, which means, but 60 to 70,000 thoughts, if you can harness those and put them on trying to understand the science and changing how you see things. I mean, there's a reason they say if you change how you see things, things that you see change. Right? Things like, I know it in my bones. Well, you hear some of these people talk about bones and they say that that's where the information is. It's in the structure. Sound can shatter a bone. Like, sound does stuff. That's real. It's all energy. We're all energy. I don't know why we have to be so obsessed with the material stuff. It's fun. But, it's like even in this song, like I said, I'm not trying to be bossy. I really am not. I'm just trying to help. Just trying to help. This thing that I think I heard Greg Braden say, my mind is the center of divine operation. Like,
Right.
okay, so all fractals of mind. If mind is then my mind is the center of divine operation. And so that just kept like in my head over and over, like a chant. And so then I don't know, hopefully I'll be done. Maybe next week we can play it.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
And the ego is the servant. Like, the ego is the servant. It's not what needs to be informing anything ever. Personalities are fun. They're fun toys to play with here in 3D. But, emphasis on we're playing with that, not that leads everything by the nose while higher self just sits there and files its nails waiting for us to get over this, whatever it is, waiting for us to remember. I want to remember. I want to remember everything before I take my last breath, not all at the same time, because then my head would explode, but little by little, little by little. And hopefully you guys come with me. It'll be fun. Might be a little weird sometimes. Like hearing that the Pope is a Freemason. And, if you actually watch that interview, it was prophesied by some other dude who got whacked. Tweep. Oh, yeah. And Stephen Greer, his one last thing that I heard him say something about, they've got pictures of bodies. And there are people who are actively, and this was like in the last few days, I think I posted that on my Facebook this afternoon also, that there are people who are defecting from the programs with the evidence. So for all you people out there who are like, show me proof. Until anybody shows me proof, I'm not gonna Wee! Okay. Stephen Greer says proof is coming. All right, here we go. Sounds like a pretty catastrophic disclosure to me. It didn't have to be this way. They could have just told the truth in the first place. Or maybe it did have to be for evolution to happen. Wow. Like, if the shift that they've all been talking about is humanity figuring out that we project and collapse what we want, or Can you imagine what kind of place this is going to be?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the dark night of the soul of the collective, getting through that dark hallway. That's what I was starting to say before. Hurry up and wait. Yeah. Yeah. But for those of us who know, we know it's hard. It's so hard to be patient when you feel like you know. It's so hard sometimes. But that's when it's time to focus on taking the information and doing something with it that makes you feel better. You know, I mean, not everybody writes songs, not everybody does art, but there's got to be something, you know, like they used to have book clubs, like they're, you know, I'm sure that's what Clubhouse was intended to do in the first place. But there are people in your community, and there are people, your friends on Facebook, little groups. The more we start discussing these things intelligently, coherently, without ridicule or feeling weird about asking questions, you know, that also, those signals, these conversations, these thoughts that are in which we are all engaging in the group, like I feel like this is the equivalent of a light shining, like whoever's listening right now, little bulbs for these non-human intelligence that they know if we're talking about them. It's a psionic realm, all of it. So welcome, whoever's tuned into our frequency. Hopefully you can stand it long enough to know we're here to help, man. We're here to help. Welcome. Come have a cup of coffee or whatever it is you drink. If you don't drink, no. I don't know,
Next
guys.
week, we got what guest coming again?
David Lipton's coming to see us. It's so exciting from the left coast. I'm excited. Yay. It'll be fun. All right.
And don't forget, check out our links below in the description, ladies and gentlemen. Spotify and everything.
Come find me on Facebook. Talk to me on Instagram. Instagram's probably the easiest way to, like, if you follow and then send little posts or whatever. I will answer. I will answer.
And then we got a show coming up at 7. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, I hope you guys like. I hope after you guys hang out listening to me babble, you feel better.
Oh yes, absolutely.
You know, I feel better. You know, but I just hope that it's a mutual thing. You know, and I hope you guys keep coming back. I'll eventually have guests here and there. We're gonna guinea pig with David next week. I'm excited. All right. Well, yeah. So there's a show coming up in 7. Thank you for choosing to spend your linear time here. And thank you for engaging and whoever's been posting. Like, I'm not good at following the posts when I'm babbling. But I do see what Grizzly puts up. So thank you so much for hosting me. Thank you so much for helping me out of my little weird shy shell. My she shell. My shy she.
That's right.
She sells seashells. Yeah, that's what she does. Yeah. No. Yeah, I make music. And I love birds. And I'm a Cancer. No. Yeah, I am. 7-Eleven. Just in case anybody wants to send me stuff next summer. All right, that's enough. There's a show coming up at 7. What he was saying. Listen to him now. It's his turn.
And from coast to coast, around the world, Godspeed. We'll see you here shortly. Bye-bye.
Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Frequency, 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 frequency.
Are you ready to ride the frequency? Are you ready to ride the frequency?